Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today we are going to declutter our social life. Before we get into it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, like this video, share the video, and of course you can also go follow me on my Instagram, that's also called The Art of Being Ill. As people who live with chronic illness, we have a very limited amount of energy. And you have probably been in situations where you have felt overwhelmed with social commitments you don't really want to do, either out of guilt, out of habit, or out of fear for disappointing people. So today I am gonna talk about how to socially declutter without guilt, without over-explaining, and without the fear of losing real friends. Let's get into it. The first step in decluttering your social life is to say no. And I understand that this is easier said than done. Most people have a hard time saying no because they are afraid of disappointing people. They're afraid of seeming rude or selfish. They are afraid of missing out on social events and missing out on life, which is a very real feeling. But the truth is, saying no is very liberating. And you do not owe anyone your time and energy if it drains you. Saying no is not easy, but it is something you can practice. You can practice saying no. You can do it in front of a mirror. You can do it with a really close friend, or even write down responses on how to say no to different social events. When you say no to social events, it should be short and simple. It should be polite, but firm, and no over-explaining the reason. As an example, you could say, "Hey, thanks for the invite, but I'm afraid I can't make it." And then that's it. You could also say, "I appreciate the offer, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to pass." And then period. There's nothing more in it. You don't owe an explanation. You don't have to say because of this and this and this. Not unless it's something you feel comfortable doing. You know, I do have friends and family where if the reason for me not wanting to go is because I'm exhausted, because I'm having trouble with my bowel or something like that, I'll just say that. And they'll be okay, fine. But if it's not someone you're that close with, don't try to come up with all these weird explanations on why you don't want to hang out. Another really good idea is to say yes only to the things you actually truly want to do. Because things you tend to want to do, they tend to make you feel better, they tend to energize you. So a really good idea before you say yes to anything, or before you say no for that matter, try to think about, is this something I really want to do? Or is this something I'm doing because I feel obligated, because I don't want to disappoint someone? Does this social event energize me or drain me? Does it feel like an obligation? Try to ask yourself these questions. And if the answer is, this is something I could think, it's awesome, I get so energized by it. Maybe it's a concert and you just know that the artist you're gonna watch is like someone who makes you forget you're even sick or something like that, and I really want to go to this concert, then do it. But if you feel like you don't really want to, but you have just, not seen this person in so long, but you don't even know the artist at the concert you're gonna go to, and just the thought of being around people drains you, and like la 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 la, then say no. It's really important when it comes to socially decluttering that you remind yourself that you do not owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone your social energy. You don't owe anyone anything, really. You're not a bad person for prioritizing your well-being, your health. It doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you a bad person, a rude person, or something like that. It's okay to prioritize yourself and your health. I think a big reason why a lot of people are having a hard time saying no is the fear of disappointing friends and family and ultimately maybe losing them. Maybe they will stop inviting you to events. Maybe they'll stop calling, texting. Maybe they'll say no to you too every time you ask them to do something. Often we're afraid of being alone, right? We're afraid of being lonely. So we do things we don't really want to do to please that person so we don't lose them. But here's the deal, and this is something you should remind yourself of. If someone is in your life because they love you, because you mean something to them, just because you exist, right? They will respect your boundaries. They will not question it, and they will not make you feel bad for saying no. So if someone gets upset, stop inviting you to things and ghosting you or whatever. Like, that is probably not a real friend. It's probably more someone who's in your life for what you can give them and not for who you are. So even though it can be really difficult to accept that people stop wanting to hang out with you, stop inviting you to things just because you said no a few times to take care of you and your health, maybe it's for the best, because they're not really true friends. A true friends wouldn't dump you just because you had said no the past 10 times they asked you to do something. They wouldn't do that because they would understand the boundaries and they would respect them. And they're there for you and not for what you can give them. So I know it's hard, but true friends don't drain you. They energize you. Saying no is really a true game changer. It can be so hard to do, but if you practice, you will get better at it, and you will start to see that it's really not that dangerous to say no, and that unless you don't have any true friends in your life, they won't ignore you. They won't stop being your friend just because you set boundaries. It's very freeing to say no and to take care of yourself and not have the change of social obligations around you. And you will experience that it's good for your health. Whatever your chronic illness is, it will be good for your health to have these boundaries, to say no and to not do the things you don't want to do, because it drains you, and only doing the things that energizes you because you really truly want to do it. It will make your health better. You will feel better. Leave a comment down below and tell me and everyone watching, what is the hardest part for you about saying no? Why are you having a hard time saying no? Maybe the community can help you out a little bit. But that was today's video, and I hope you liked it. I hope you found it helpful. So start saying no and declutter your social life. I'll see you next time right here on my channel, The Art of Being Ill.